is what XQuery in the cloud. What XQuery in the cloud, that's probably something you can have a long research agenda on. So basically, I will talk about 5 minutes about what we think, how these things work together, or how these words could fit together. And so, let's start off with the question, does anybody need XQuery in the cloud? And so we look at some examples. And take one example, which is always a nice example, which is the US government. And the US government is a nice example because it publishes stuff about what they are doing. And of course, I mean, one of the things that's interesting about them is that they require often standard data formats, and XML is one of them. So therefore, if you want to process XML, of course, XQuery, I think as nobody in this room has to be convinced, is the right tool. I mean, there's basically no option there. And the other thing, of course, is also what's nice about the US government is, well, it wants to expand in the cloud. And so the US CIO has published a strategy, and we have only one bit of piece of information from that. And basically what they say is that out of the 80 billion spending that the US government does, he sees the potential for 20 billion spending on cloud computing. Out of that, there's like, okay, DHS and Treasury 2.5 billion each, so that's, okay, that's the top runners. Of course, DHS, it's not surprising, and I guess the top runners everything spending, and also DoD with approximately 2 billion, so that's basically big chunks, but so they see some potential there. So from that, we deduce that there is some potential for kind of the intersection between XQuery and the cloud. So what do we think how they fit together? So if we want to do something with XQuery in the cloud, of course, I mean, our first assumption is all data is XML. So that is basically where we start off. And so that's good. So then it remains XQuery. And then we want to use XQuery to build actually applications in the cloud. So we'll have some extensions to XQuery that are needed to actually build such applications. And I think the most important ones here are really scripting. I think there's, without a doubt, there's some need for some imperativeness in application building, especially when you have updates. So that's one. And the other is, of course, that you need some libraries to do stuff that applications need to do. And so with these things, basically, we believe that having these things and having the cloud, we can simplify the stack that you need to do to build such things. And the first thing, of course, is we want to leverage existing cloud infrastructure as, for example, Amazon provides it, I mean, with all the usual benefits. And when we do that, I think we have one big advantage. That is that we can really integrate the current typical three-tier architecture of the DBMS applications, app server and web server. Because, I mean, if you think about it, the three-tier architecture came into being for scalability reasons. I mean, the reason was there was only one database, then people said, oh, only one database, that doesn't really scale if we have the app server on the same machine. So let's scale out the app servers, build app servers, and once basically you get the cloud to take that part for you, the cloud infrastructure, you don't need to really care about that anymore. I mean, it's still there, but you don't have to build it or do it. And the nice thing about this integration, of course, also is that actually you can use XQuery on all of these tiers. And actually, William will explain later in more detail nicely how that goes. So, yeah, that's basically the outset of what we're doing, and the thing how our product, Sausalito, does this is actually a very simple overview here, where in the middle you have this wonderful Sausalito cloud, and this consists of the sub-cloud storage, which I think S3, and you know what it's about, and some, I mean, again, we have app servers here, but you don't have to see them as an application developer. And the application servers basically are all completely independent of each other. The applications and the code and the data are all in the cloud storage, so each app server can be used in any way it wants to be. And then you can communicate with whatever you want. And we are thinking about a RESTful, using a RESTful API there. And I think probably it's a good opportunity to talk about what that looks like and what you think it looks like, and to see basically if what we're doing right now can be improved upon.